3.
Hey, we're back with you here. Today's subject is we're working on a Iver Johnson XL single barrel 20 gauge shotgun. I want to tell you a few things about this and show you a few things about it. They're no longer made, and this one here is pretty good, pretty rough shape. We got it at a sale. There's a lot of things wrong with it that we've already kind of fixed. And tell you what, we'll start off with the barrel. The barrel extractor ejector was stuck, would not work. It was gunked up with a lot of dirt and filth throughout the years. And we got all the barrel components pulled out, cleaned up, and we're ready to sand it off, get the rust off, and re-blue it. You can see that the barrel itself, the bore, is in excellent shape. I hope you can see that, just how shiny that bore is. I'm really surprised at how the bore is compared to the externals of the rest of the gun. So another thing here is the serial numbering. We've got an E68550 on both the barrel, and we have a D is in doggy, stamped here. And we have the same serial number on the tag of the receiver. Then on the fore end, we're one digit off. Also on the fore end cap, where we had the last two digits on the receiver and the barrel assembly were 50, while on the fore end and the fore end cap we have 51. So we've highlighted these so you can see the serial numbers clearly. Also, it's pretty beat up around the locking bolt pin, and we can probably file that out a little bit, make it look a little bit better. The hammer would not come back. I've soaked this in mineral spirits and got everything loosened up. This was sticking. I still need to take this all apart and detail strip it. Also, there was no trigger guard. We have made a trigger guard for this, and here's how they look. And that's about as close as I can get. It does not look like the originals from what I have seen, but anyway, we got us a trigger guard. Okay, now the fore end, that was cracked. We have repaired that with epoxy. Stock is cracked right here, here and there from the recoil. We've soaked this in turpentine to get all the oil out of it, then mineral spirits, then carburetor cleaner, gasoline, and then isopropyl alcohol. And we got it pretty much cleaned up. You know, the oil just kept soaking through, and we wipe it off and wipe it off. But this is the best we can do to get the wood cleaned up before we glue it together. You can buy a stock from Lubric Arms, and on their website they're like $90, complete with the original butt plate. Also, you can get the fore end for $33. They still have parts for these, believe it or not. This particular one, the XL model, was marketed through Monkey Ward from what I understand, from 1933 to 1935. Now, first what we're going to do, we're going to put a sleeve in the stock assembly. And even though it takes a 1/4 inch diameter stock bolt, the hole itself is 1/2 inch in diameter. So we've marked it off where the bolt travels through and where the tang of the receiver stops. So now what we're going to do, we're going to mix up this epoxy, and this is the PC7 2-part epoxy, and you mix it up 1-to-1 ratio and mix it up where you got all one color. And I had a lot of choices to choose from as far as epoxy and adhesives, like the Marine Tex and the Loctite 2-part epoxy with the syringe. But in this hot weather that we have right now in Arizona, it does not allow for a lot of work time. So you really have to hurry and have everything planned out and all ready to go before you start going back together. This is going to be a 2-part video. You're going to see the before and after on this particular weapon here. Now what we have a tube. This is a roller out of an office copier machine that we have cut according to the room that we have inside the stock. Now we're going to take and slather this epoxy on here a couple of inches from the end, like this. Now we'll take it from the butt plate end, not from this end, because you do not want to get any epoxy in here yet. And we're going to push it through, and while we're pushing it through, we're going to turn it slightly, like that. And we're going to push it up in here to where we can see it to start to coming out, and then we're going to take our receiver. We'll put this little rubber cap on here just in case. Slip that in there like that. Now we're going to push this in, and it's already indexed. This tube is right up against the tang. That way the recoil, whenever you fire it, it's not going to continue to split this stock out the way it has already done. Next, if you have any excess epoxy, the nice thing about the PC7 is that you've got water cleanup while it's still soft. And we'll clean that up with a Q-tip and some water. Get all that out of there. Next we'll take our stock bolt, 1/4 inch diameter stock bolt. Here's an interesting thing here. Look at the stock bolt, the head on that. See how it's off balance here like that? We'll put that in here like this. Take our screwdriver. We've got it tightened up. Now the next thing we'll do is we'll put this in the, just in case any of the epoxy got into the cracks on the inside, we're going to clamp it. I don't think it did, but we're going to clamp it. Then we're going to wait for 24 hours for this to cure, and then tomorrow we'll come back in with this Loctite epoxy. Now this is pretty good stuff, but you got to work really fast on it or it'll get away from you. It's got the little venturi inside here that mixes up the two parts together, and you don't have to paddle around with ice cream sticks or corn dog sticks. So we will we'll pump this down inside of the stock and get everything leveled out. Then we'll clamp it again and let it dry and harden up. Now the next thing we'll do, we've got these little spindles. They're like little worm gears. They're brass, and we're going to take those, drill 2 lateral holes where these cracks are most prominent on the stock, and we're going to coat those with epoxy also and push those through with kind of a press fit, and then we'll trim them off. Then we'll sand the stock off and refinish it, and we'll have a stock. I could buy another stock, you know, they have them on hand at Lubric Arms, but Mary Sue and we like to play like like this might be our only gun, and we're going to bring it up to working order and such. The butt plate, here's the butt plate that came with it. It's been whittled out of a piece of, I think they call that masonite. It's a wood product. So we're going to start off with bluing get the barrel blued. We're using the Formula 4440. They also have another blue, cold blue that called Oxbow blue, both of which you can buy off the internet, Amazon, or through Brownells out of Iowa. You don't have to do much with it, just wipe it on and wipe it off, and then you oil it. Keep the oil to it for a few days. Keep wiping the oil onto it, and then you'll get a good finish. So that's it until next time, and next time you see us, you'll see the gun that's all put back together and refinished and in working order. Thank you for watching today. Make some comments, subscribe, and we'll see you on our next video.